Slaying Sunnah, Abu Ishaq al-Shāṭibī's Concept of Bid'ah, McGill University, 1999, Montreal, Canada, A.S. Jahar. Chapter 2, Abu Ishaq al-Shāṭibī's Concept of Bid'ah. Before embarking upon an elucidation of Bid'ah within the framework of his legal philosophy, Shāṭibī, like his predecessors, reaffirms the argument against Bid'ah, stressing reliance on the Quran, the Sunnah, and consensus and qiyas, ratio legis, and the doctrines of pious Sufis. He then goes on to cite three categories of legal rulings: al-amr, command; al-nahi, prohibition; and amalgamated selection, at-takhayyur. Of these, he takes the most trouble to define prohibition, which he further subdivides into prohibition against doing that which is expressly forbidden, and prohibition against doing anything that contradicts the Shari'iyah, whether it is forbidden in so many words or not. This scheme is mirrored in his subdivision of Bid'ah itself into two categories. First, innovations in religious matters, falling under the heading of worship, and second, innovations in religious and mundane matters, intending to resemble the Shari'iyah. At the same time, he makes it clear that the mere novelty, muhdatha, in mundane matters does not count as Bid'ah. Thus, anything that serves to support understanding of the Shari'iyah, such as Arabic grammar, or usul al-fiqh, legal theory, is lawful, even though they were not taught by the Prophet. Their sources or roots are extant in the Shari'iyah, he argues, despite the fact that they were not known at the time of Islam's first appearance. As we shall see, Shāṭibī's work on Bid'ah is intimately tied in with the epistemology of Islamic legal theory, and is based upon such concepts as the ends of the Shari'iyah, Maqasid al-Shari'iyah, such a marriage between the domain of Bid'ah and the ends of the Shari'iyah renders Shāṭibī's concept of Bid'ah distinct, and identifies him as the proponent, if not the master architect, of Maqasid al-Shari'iyah. There is an obvious reliance on the rational process on the part of al-Shāṭibī when dealing with this question, yet the Shari'iyah is unequivocally seen as occupying first place. On this point of Maqasid al-Shari'iyah, there's a footnote that we should go through, because this is a separate topic altogether, but the footnote is quite useful. Shāṭibī was not the first to speak of the science of Maqasid al-Shari'iyah. Islamic scholars before him, such as Shafi'i jurist Ibn Abd Salam, who died in 660, wrote a book called Qawaid al-Ahkam, the Principles of Rulings, and the Hanbali scholar Najmuddin Tufi, who died in 716, who composed a treatise on Masalih Mursala, anticipated this issue. Shāṭibī, however, develops the theory. His work on the subject of Maqasid al-Shari'iyah is principally based on two standpoints. The first is the primacy of the Quran as the first authoritative source, and the second on the subject's dependence on the universal aim of Maqasid. And the reference work here is a book by Hamadi Ubaidi, Al-Shatibi wa Maqasid al-Shari'iyah, which was published in Tripoli in 1992. This is continuing the thesis. Reason is an indispensable tool for understanding the Shari'iyah. It is not, however, to be used to interpret the text independently. This is because reason itself, according to Shāṭibī, is quite limited in its ability to fathom the purposes of the divine law. The Shari'iyah, on the other hand, is perfect, needing neither addition nor subtraction. Any attempt at using reason to interpret the Shari'iyah, which goes beyond its teachings or transgresses its stipulated rules, leads to Bid'ah, according to Shāṭibī. Stay tuned for the next part, which will deal with ijtihad and many more parts.